start simulation. Hello, Mr. Durso. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm all right. So,
Great. So I understand today your class is going to be meeting with one of our middle school students to discuss um, analyzing a few documents about the slave trade. Is that correct?
yes, and I heard he was sick yesterday.
He was. He's feeling a lot better now, but yeah, so he was sick yesterday and missed some class time. So right now he just needs some help catching up.
All right. Did you want to go ahead and explain how a simulation works for our
I'd love
tutors?
to.
Okay.
Yeah. So all you have to know is to start a simulation. You're going to say start or begin simulation. At that point, Nate will appear on your screen and you can begin your lesson. If at any point you feel confused or you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, you can say pause simulation. Nate will leave the screen and then you can have a minute to collect your thoughts. When you're ready again, just say resume simulation. Nate will come back and you can pick up right where you left off. And then finally, to end simulation, just say stop or end simulation. Nate will leave the screen and you can head off to your debrief. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Of course. So then I'll just wait to hear you say start simulation, and then I'll take you in to meet with Nate.
All right. Well, I think we're ready for Nate. So start simulation. Hello, Nate. How are you feeling today?
Um, Hi, I'm doing a lot better. I was sick yesterday because I had a fever and my throat was kind of sore, but today I feel great.
Oh no, yeah, that's kind of crummy. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
had to stay in bed all day. But my mom gave me a lot of ice cream, so that was kind of good.
Oh, that sounds yummy. What kind of ice cream did she give you?
Um, I just ate vanilla, but I put like a bunch of chocolate sauce and stuff on it, and so that
Mm,
was really good.
I bet that chocolate sauce was what healed you, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I know you missed some class yesterday, so we're here to help get you back up to speed, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, do you have your iPad with you?
Yep, I got it right in front of me.
Okay. Well, if you can pull up that map, the map of the slave trade that we looked at a couple days ago, that would be great. Can you go ahead and do that?
Okay, yeah, give me 1 second. I have to go to the website again.
Okay, yeah. You know which map, the one with the arrows.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's the
Okay.
one.
Okay, good.
Okay. Do you remember what all those arrows mean?
Um, well, I think we talked about that they were um like showing where the slaves were taken out of Africa.
Yes. And what do the arrows come from Africa and they go to where?
Oh, they go a bunch of different places, but we talked about how they were going mainly to like South America and like North America, but there's a bunch that are going to like near Mexico and like kind of underneath Florida.
Yeah, and they show the movement of what?
Um, we said it was the slave trade, right?
Yeah, so it shows the movement of,
Um, like the where the slaves were going.
yeah, and the slaves are,
They're the people from Africa.
yes, yes, correct. So yeah, we see most of the people going to South America or to those little islands down there around Mexico and under North America. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to go to what we missed yesterday, which is source B.
This one?
Yes, that one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so now if you look at that picture, what do you see?
Um, well, it looks like some people doing like some farm work. Um, and they've got like some kind of a tool and they're I think cutting something. And then there's like another guy behind them and he's got kind of a funny looking hat and a
Yeah.
mustache and he's just kind of watching them. But then in the far background, there's like another one of those guys with the hats, and it looks like he's hitting one of the slaves, I think.
Yeah. How does it make you feel?
Um, well, um, not good because it doesn't look like that's very good for the slaves who are doing all of the work.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think they're cutting?
Um, I don't know. Um, I don't really know what that plant is. Is that
Yeah.
corn?
No, that's sugar cane. So
Oh,
that's the stuff that the sugar comes from.
oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know that's what sugar looks like.
yeah, that's one of the things that sugar comes from. And that's what ends up growing in those hot climates. So
Oh,
now, yeah, yeah. So that's what it looks like. And yeah, they're making them do that, all that work. So now we're going to jump down here and I'm going to have you read those two paragraphs that are below that picture that's called a woodcut. Um, so if you can read that for me, that would be
okay.
great. Okay.
Um, it is impossible to think about sugar production in the West Indies without thinking about slavery. The labor of enslaved Africans was I integral to the cultivation of the cane and production of sugar. Slaves toiled in the fields and the boiling houses, supplying the huge amounts of labor that sugar required. Overall, some 4 million slaves were brought to the Caribbean, and almost all ended up on the sugar plantations. Conditions were harsh and mortality rates were extremely high through all stages of slaves' lives. In some sugar colonies, the slave population was 10 times that of Europeans, and slave uprisings were an ever-present fear for the planters. Um, Slave trading was part of a highly profitable triangle of trade that spanned the Atlantic. Manufactured goods were traded to the West African coast for slaves who were shipped to the sugar colonies, um, the infamous Middle Passage.
Mhm.
And sugar, molasses, and rum were shipped from the islands to England.
Good job. All right. Do you have any questions about what you just read?
Um, um, what what does it mean when it says the cultivation? What's cultivation again?
Cultivation is a farming term. So they were out there growing all this sugar cane and they needed those slaves to grow the sugar cane. They didn't have
Oh,
the farm equipment that they have today. So instead, they used the slave labor, which was
oh,
free. Um,
that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. So that's why they needed those slaves to grow that sugar cane.
And then what's the West Indies?
The West Indies are those islands. If you look at the map again, those islands
Oh,
like Jamaica and those other islands there in that
oh,
warmer
okay.
section. Yeah, yeah.
Those
And
are my only questions.
those are your only questions. You know about the boiling houses where they put the sugar cane in and they boiled the sugar cane down and they got the sugar out of it.
Oh, is that how you make sugar? You boil it?
Yeah, yeah, so it separates it from the plant and then you have your sugar. Mhm.
Oh man, that would be really hot.
Yeah, it'd be hot and nasty. Yeah, and they really didn't care about the people that they were bringing over from Africa. They were just a
Oh,
commodity. Yeah,
oh man.
yeah, and that's why the mortality rates were extremely high because they didn't really care
What's
about them.
that?
That means a lot of people ended up dying and they didn't
Oh,
have good health care. They didn't care about them to give them health care. They just were sort of like their machine, their living machine.
oh man.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's not good. So I have one question for you. If you're
Yeah.
looking at this and you're looking at the history of it, and with the sugar that they were making money from the labor of the slaves who made nothing from it, and it was free labor, was the sugar trade sweet?
Um, huh. That's that's a hard question because the sugar trade is um good because like I really like sugar a lot. And I'm glad we have sugar, but it makes me really sad to know that the people like the slaves were treated really bad, and that a lot of them died because they had to do that work, and they weren't treated good.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. That's why they had to worry about the uprisings because
Yeah.
sometimes the people would fight back. Yeah,
Um, so I don't know. I like sugar, but I don't think the sugar trade was sweet after reading this.
yeah, I don't either. Mm-mm. All right. Well, thank you for coming in, Nate, and
Yeah.
simulation.